As the esteemed panel of judges are making their final deliberations and casting their votes to determine the winner of tonight's Rocky Mountain Real Estate Challenge, here is your exclusive look into the closed-door judging sessions that happened earlier today.
So quickly, the way the day goes, the students present, you have an hour question and answer session, students leave the room, and you guys have a half an hour to dig into the projects. And that's where the diversity of you all come in from everybody's perspective to say, from my experience, I see these pros and this con, and it helps everybody form a full perspective of the project.
So the judging process started back in January. This was the same time the students started their process. The judges took a tour of the site and met with the City of Westminster to understand their goals and objectives for the project.
We see the opportunity for them to expand greatly beyond the horizons that we do. We typically look at brick and mortar and streetscapes and stuff like that, but those things are just a part of the overall process. The open-mindedness, the opportunity for them to expand and try new things. Doesn't mean it has to be the same stuff we see every day, but the challenge is let them think outside of the box.
I think the most challenging aspect of this for the students will be to try to figure out timing and phasing to add value to the real estate development they're going to propose. And so they can probably do some very easy development and show a pro forma that will work, but that will not be the best long-term play and long-term strategy. And so they will have to figure out how to mix those two concepts and come up with an overall development plan for the full 21 acres.
The second step of the judging process started about a week ago when the judges received their RFP books from each school. These are 50 pages long, and the judges took several hours to go through those in details to make sure they fully understand the project.
Our presentation will point out the flaws that other people have thought as not fully thought through all the market data of some of their key components.
And I think off of that, we then go into some of the products that we think we can feasibly build and there's need for. I think we're most excited to show everyone sort of what we've done with this piece of land that a lot of people, saw as nothing could really be built there. We've come up with a really creative use of space with a lot of different mixed uses that I think people will find attractive.
With the green roofs and maybe even the greenhouses. But the hydroponic systems and aquaponics, I think, goes to you.
Yeah.
Because I don't know a whole lot of details about that.
Yeah.
I can introduce it, but that's it.
Yeah, fine.
I think also bringing up the fact that this has been done before with all the stuff by Gotham Greens.
New York and Montreal and Chicago.
Yeah.
I think getting to actually perform in front of all the people that have helped us along the way and kind of finally show them that this is what they've been working to, what we've been working to, is one of the things I'm looking forward to the most.
After introductions, lunch, and some final instructions, the judges were ready for the team's oral presentation and intense Q&A.
What then made you dismiss the aspect of having more of a mixed-use development, and instead of incurring so much risk and putting all of your eggs in the residential basket?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think you make a good point, and that's obviously a risk. We're being really proactive about how we build our buildings, as well as realizing that everything around a TOD essentially, that's the moneymaker for the multifamily right there. Is that if you're gonna try to drive from that point in Westminster and get down to Union Station in 11 minutes, it's not gonna happen every day. So we believe that it allows you to get outside of the CBD, but also be able to be close enough to work that you can really get the outdoors of Colorado while also being able to go into the city if needed.
I didn't see where you had at least explained well enough to me how you're using the existing parking structure. It appears that there is excess parking space associated with that asset.
The IGA with RTD requires that the parking garage be expanded at 85% utilization once it's hit a 6-month threshold continuously. So we're only projected 800 rides per day. So we really feel comfortable saying that we're not going to hit that threshold anytime soon, and that's based on RTD's own data.
That's an excellent analysis, and I'm glad to hear that you are thinking about doing the shared parking, because it's other people's money, right? OPM, key aspect of development, use other people's money, and they gave you a parking garage. And I just don't see where you're describing. You perhaps did that in your analysis. I don't see how you're adequately describing that in your proposal.
No capital partner like Dan or myself is going to let you take the money off the table on a win on your first and second phase and not keep it around in case third and fourth phase bombs.
So I think we heard that from a lot of people throughout this process. And it was a balancing act between kind of the vision and the goals of Westminster, as well as the market dynamics that actually allow something like this to get done. And that's why we also structured the way we put together our financial model in a way that we can pull out each individual building and run the cash flows like that. And if we have an equity partner who wants to get involved in one individual building versus one phase or all 4 phases, we tried to create as much flexibility over the long-term horizon as we could.
You're giving me not much for 25% of the project and no collateral and 12 to 13-year time horizon. So motivate me beyond it's cool. I hope you get your greenhouse guy. If you don't, then the cool goes away. So why 7%? Where did that come from? What makes you feel comfortable with that number?
So it was a 90%, 10% split on the waterfall, and it was at a 9% pref. And the returns were going to the LPs in mirroring to some extent the overall IRRs that you're seeing here. It's the way that we had it built out. So we were getting roughly 30+ returns to you.
Throughout the entire process, from receipt of the written materials late last week to the oral presentations and closed-door Q&A sessions, the judges panel pays close attention to the key aspects of the development proposal. Here we are, Challenge Day 2016.